Welcome back, and my name is Saudom Ganga. I'll bring to you our news headlines today. Let's start our news from Turkey. We're starting our news from Turkey, where people take part in a torchlight procession to mark the Martyrs' Day and the 104th anniversary of the Battle of Çanakkale yesterday in Turkey's western province of Çanakkale. There were some interviews with Syrian businessman Mohammed Maruk, Jewish Rabbi Mendy Goldstein, Afghani Yaman Nabbi, son of Daud Nabbi, 71, who fell victim to right-wing terror attacks at Al Noor Mosque, and New Zealander Michael Sharp on Monday in Christchurch, New Zealand. At least 50 people were killed when a terrorist opened fire on worshippers during Friday prayers at Al Noor and Lindwood mosques in Christchurch.
My name is Rabbi Mendy Goldstein, and I'm from Auckland, visiting especially to our Muslim brothers and sisters from the Jewish community to deliver the message to our brothers and sisters who are in pain that we are suffering together with you, each and every one of you and each and every one of us as one family. We are not two separate communities, but we are indeed one family.
People take part in anti-blockade demonstration in Gaza on Monday. Yasser Halef, a member of the Gaza's National Authority for breaking the siege, speaks during the demonstration yesterday against Israel's occupation and the 12-year-old blockade of the Gaza Strip. Demonstrators demand the right of Palestinian refugees to return to their homes in historical Palestine from which they were driven in 1948 to make way for the new state of Israel. They also demand an end to Israel's 12-year blockade of the Gaza Strip, which has gutted the coastal enclave's economy and deprived its roughly 2 million inhabitants of many basic commodities.
المرحلة القادمة زخما جماهيريا ونوعيا أكبر. إن المشاركة الواسعة التي عودنا إياها أبناء شعبنا في المسيرات البرية والبحرية منذ انطلاقتها.
A total of 54 irregular migrants of Iraqi, Syrian and Palestinian nationals, including women and children, were held by Turkish Coastal Guard while attempting to illegally cross into Europe off the coast of Turkey's western Izmir province yesterday. Area shots of the construction site of 1915 Çanakkale Bridge in western Çanakkale province of Turkey, the Çanakkale 1915 Bridge, named in memory of country's historical victory in the region during World War I, with span over 2,000 meters between Landseki and Gallipoli in northern western Turkey. It will be 32 meters longer than the world's longest bridge, the Akashi Karikyo Bridge between Kobe and Awaji Island in Japan. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, accompanied by Transport and Infrastructure Minister Cahit Turan and Labor, Social Services and Family Minister Zeherat Selçuk, visits construction site of 1915 Çanakkale Bridge on the occasion of the Martyrs' Day and the 104th anniversary of the Battle of Çanakkale at Çanakkale Martyrs Memorial on Monday in western Çanakkale province of Turkey. The Çanakkale 1915 Bridge, named in memory of the country's historical victory in the region during World War I, will span over 2,000 meters between Lapseki and Gelibolu in northwestern Turkey. It will be 32 meters longer than the world's longest bridge at Akashi Karikyo Bridge between Kobe and Awaji Island in Japan. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, Parliament Speaker Mustafa Şentop, Defense Minister Hulusi Akar, Transport and Infrastructure Minister Jahid Turan, and Leban Social Services Family Minister Zehra Zumrukchu attend inauguration ceremony of Troy Museum on the occasion of the Martyrs' Day and the 104th anniversary of the birth of Çanakkale at Çanakkale Martyrs Memorial yesterday in Western Çanakkale province of Turkey.
Kıymetli misafirler, değerli arkadaşlar, hanımefendiler, beyefendiler, sizleri en kalbi duygularımla, saygıyla selamlıyorum.
Several people were injured after a gunman opened fire on a tram passengers in the Netherlands, security forces said on Monday. The attack was carried out at October 24th Square in the central city of Utrecht. Dutch police are investigating the case as a terrorist attack. Gökmen Tanis, 37, is the suspect in the attack according to the Dutch police. A possible terrorist motive is part of the investigation, it said on Twitter, and the National Coordinator for Security and Counter-Terrorism also announced on Twitter that the threat level was raised to 5, the highest level for Utrecht until 6 p.m. local time. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan addresses via the phone on Muslims community as Turkish Vice President Fuat Oktay and Foreign Minister Mevlut Çavuşoğlu pay a visit on Monday in Christchurch, New Zealand. Oktay and Çavuşoğlu are on a 2-day visit to Christchurch City in an effort to underline Turkey's firm stance against Islamophobia and xenophobia, as well as to show its solidarity with New Zealand upon deadly terror attacks. A burnt nature park mesmerizes visitors in Turkey's northwestern province Bolu as spring arrives. Following our news from the updates of the Brexit, it's notable because it's the view of a government minister who is not one of those whose pulse quickens when discussing leaving or trying to stay in the European Union. There is, of course, President in the very well-thumbed copies of Erskine May, the parliamentary rules for the Speaker's decision. Quoting decisions as far back as 1604, John Bercow was quite clear that governments are not meant to be able to keep asking Parliament the same question, in the hope of boring MPs into submission if they kept saying no. But as another member of the government puts it mildly, the Speaker has a reputation for being interventionist, and he has this afternoon chucked a hackling great spanner in the works. The government seems to have been cooling all day on the idea of getting MPs to vote again on Theresa May's Brexit deal this week for a whole shopping list of reasons. But before number 10 has a chance to make that decision, the Speaker took it out of their hands. There will be no MV3, to use the terrible jargon. There won't be another vote on the Prime Minister's Brexit deal unless it changes. The death toll in Mozambique from Cyclone Idai could be as high as 1,000. Mr. Nyusi flew over some of the worst hit areas on Monday. He described seeing bodies floating in the rivers. The storm made landfall near the port of city of Beira on Thursday with winds of up to 177 kilometers per hour, but 8 teams only reached the city on Sunday. A UN aid worker said that every building in Beira, home 500,000 people, had been damaged. Gerard Burki from the UN's World Food Programme said no building is untouched. There is no power, there is no telecommunications. The streets are littered with fallen electricity lines. The roofs on so many houses have fallen in, likewise the walls. A lot of people in the city have lost their homes, and the rescue crews spent much of the night helping people from trees, Jamie Lesul, the head of IFRC assessment team, reported. Beto O'Rourke made headlines while losing an election last year. Now he's running for president and already breaking fundraising record. O'Rourke arrived at a gourmet coffee shop in a small town, southeastern Iloa town of Mount Pleasant, and immediately jumped up on the store's counter to address the packed room. It was the second day of his presidential campaign, which he has announced via an early morning YouTube video. And the O'Rourke operation was opting for a soft launch. He visited small towns in smaller venues with small advanced fanfare. The coffee shop in Mount Pleasant, an art gallery in Washington, a sing-along bar in Mount Vernon, and a house party in Dubuque were among the stops. All told, the candidate behind the wheel of a dirty black minivan covered more than 800 miles in 3 days. If he had traveled to the big state college towns of Iloa City or Ames, he probably could have packed a sports arena. Instead, he went for more intimate settings in parts of the state that trend more conservative, countries that were by and large carried by Donald Trump when he became only the second Republican to win Iloa in the presidential elections since 1984. Across a series of portraits, the children described stories of losing loved ones, physical injuries from mines, and having to flee their homes because of the fighting. Despite continuing violence in their country, the children also reveal hope and determination for the future, with many more enrolled on the charity's education and training programs. Statistics released by the United Nations show that 2018 was the deadliest year for children in Afghanistan in the past 10 years, with more than 800 to 900 young lives lost. Paris has come top of a ranking of the world's most expensive cities alongside Hong Kong and Singapore. It's the first time 3 cities have shared the top spot in 30 years history of the annual Economist Intelligence Unit survey, which compares prices in 133 cities globally. The French capital, ranked second most expensive last year, is one of the 4th European cities in the top 10. The survey compares the cost of common items such as bread in 133 cities. It then tracks whether prices have gone up and down by comparing them to the cost of living in New York, which is used as a benchmark. Inflation and volatile currency fluctuations helped drive changes in the year's ranking, with places like Argentina, Brazil, Turkey, and Venezuela all seeing a sharp fall in their cost of living ranking. Caracas in Venezuela, where inflation nearly 1 million % last year, forcing the government to launch a new currency, was ranked the least expensive city in the year's survey. Thank you so much for being with us. You can check our Natural Television social medias or send us messages on WhatsApp number written on your screen. My name is Sauda Muganga, Natural Television, Ankara in Turkey. See you soon.